Okay, now we're going to take it over to Frank Raffele. Got your name right?
Got my name right.
I did good. Okay, and you are a co-author of Business, Networking, and Sex, Not What You Think. And you are the founder and CEO of a company called Entrepreneurial Excellence Worldwide.
I am.
Thank you for coming into the studio and joining us. So you're going to tell us how to speak to the opposite sex and get some results.
Yeah, I think what we found, we had a survey that we gave out to over 12,000 people around the world.
Yeah.
And we found out the difference between men and women in business is that the way that men and women are communicating and doing business with each other is actually very similar. But the parts that are different are very different. And it goes back to the way men and women communicate, I think, in life in general, is that we're seeing that sometimes we just don't coincide with each other.
So what would your advice be for, and some of these statistics are interesting. The number of women-owned businesses is growing at twice the rate of men.
Absolutely.
So it's very possible that more women are going to be bosses and CEOs, and males are going to have to answer up to them.
There's no question.
So how should a man talk to his superior, a woman boss? Let's role play a conversation.
Well, I think it comes down to not just to superior, but to women in general. So it doesn't matter where it is.
So in
general, because what we're going to find is, okay, 40, 50 years ago, men were it in the business world, right? They were it. Now women came in, and women are growing and growing, and women are aggressive in terms of learning and doing more. And men, we're taking it easy a little bit, and that's hurting us. And so what's happening is what we're finding is women are making more of the decisions for money, both in the household and in business now than ever before.
Women are the consumers, and they're usually in charge of the checkbook too. Let's do the role play. Come on. Okay.
So if we're gonna be going and you're my superior, what I want to make sure is that I treat you with respect like anybody else. I don't want to be going, okay, I'll do that. I don't want to be rolling my eyes. I want to be speaking respectfully at all times. What's really important is that with men and women, what we'll find is sometimes it's just the words that we're using are different, the way we phrase things.
Men are more direct, right?
So if I'm talking to you and I say, well, okay, well, look, sweetheart, what we need to do, okay, honey.
That's bad. Don't use words.
How does that make you feel?
It might be complimentary, but I am either your coworker or your superior, and I don't want to be spoken to like that.
Yeah, unless you have that type of rapport. I can say that some women that I work with, I'll say, I'll be on the phone or something and say, okay, sweetheart, I'll see you later, but they know that there's a respect there.
They know you already, and you've established your roles and your personalities. Okay, what about talking about yourself if you're a man? Men love to brag.
That's exactly
alpha male.
Well, here's what we found. You have what's called the VCP principle, in the formula. It's called visibility plus credibility equals profitability.
Visibility plus credibility equals profitability.
Right, and it was founded by an organization named BNI. They're the ones who first came up with that.
Right.
So what ends up happening is visibility means, like in any type of marketing that we do, it's a marketing formula. Visibility means you need to be seen over and over. If there's anything we know about marketing, we know repetition is the key. Okay, then you have to be seen. If it's radio, television, newspaper, direct mail, over and over. And or it's networking, going out to networking events.
Right.
Now, then you have credibility. So you're being seen, but what are you doing when you're being seen? How are you building that credibility? What's going on there? Now, if we have visibility and credibility, once you see me enough and you feel good about the type of person that I am, that goes to profitability, which means you'll either do business with me or you'll be willing to refer me out. Well, here's the big difference. Credibility between men and women are different.
Yeah.
Okay, credibility among a man.
Let me guess, women have more credibility?
Well, yeah, in terms of relationship.
Or am I being sexist right now?
No, not really. It comes down to men, the way they build credibility. We first meet. We're two men, and we meet at a networking function, and I say, okay, Joe, I'm Frank. Joe, what is it that you do? And what I'm expecting, what men do is they give each other our resumes.
Right.
Well, I have a business that's been around for 35 years. We've have our companies are Microsoft and IBM, and we've got 25 people, 4 locations, etc. I give and I'm saying, wow, it's impressive. Hey, he's successful. And it makes me want to connect with him more. So in terms of credibility, it's about, I know your resume, it means a lot. If I do that with a woman, if you ask me, so Frank, what is it that you do? And I start to give you my resume, you're thinking, I don't care about this. Women don't build credibility through resume, and giving that to each other. They do it through actual relationships. Talking more about themselves, their families, what's going on. So what happens a lot of times is men are trying to build credibility with women, and when they go to do that, women are just like, why is he bragging about? What's this guy's ego is so huge?
Egotistical, right? And now, if a woman were to ask, just to get right into the job discussion, she might be looked at as a gold digger, perhaps, if she wasn't on the same level.
If it's not coming across as sincere, absolutely. There's got to be that when we're talking is how do we adapt to each other. I think that's the key right now for men and for women is how do we adapt to each other. And if I come up to you and you'd say you're a Mary Kay consultant, and I say to you, so what is it that you do? And I say, well, I sell Mary Kay. A man's going to go, Inside, he's thinking, oh boy, I got to get away from this person.
But what should he say?
Or what she should say would be, if I say, what is it, so what is it that you do? And she says, well, I'm in the cosmetic industry. We have about 25 women that work for us in the regional area. And the last year we did about $2.5 million. I'm like, wow, this is a player. And then she says, I work for Mary Kay.
Gotcha.
Just by changing the way she says it builds credibility in what we're doing, so we have to do that both ways.
Should we be practicing this in our personal relationships?
I think it's a given. I think we already know that, right? And that we're talking, and I think husband and wives are sometimes talking in just two different levels, where I'll try and talk to my wife, and I'm trying to get right to the point. I'm results-oriented. Yeah. Men are very transactional in their communication, and women are relational. Okay. So we have to become what we call trans-relational, right?
Trans-relational. Okay, got it.
So I have to become less transactional in my conversation, meaning don't get right to the point. And my wife has to become a little more transactional, less relational, where she was the other day telling me about her nephew, and she said, oh, did you know that John's sick? I said, no. And she said, well, yeah, he had a cough. They woke up, and what happened is Robin was in the room, and she's in a new, they has a new room. I don't know if you know, they got a new curtain. Oh, these curtains are beautiful. You just seen the curtain. And all of a sudden, we're off three, and I'm like, are we still talking about your nephew? You know, and sometimes she's connected all that.
For some reason, all of this nonsense makes so much sense. Frank, thanks for coming in and joining us. I am very excited to pick up a copy of your book, Business, Networking, and Sex, Not What You Think. All right, stay with us. We're going to a break right now, and we will be back with some handbag information for you. That's a woman's field, isn't it? Handbags. But it's a business, so I probably should have teased that a little bit differently for our male viewers out there. Okay, see you later.